What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Isaac Cruz versus Giovanni Cabrera, and this was a 12-rounder for the WBC and WBA lightweight world title eliminator. And this fight was Saturday, July 29th from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this fight was broadcasted on Showtime pay-per-view. And in this fight, Isaac Cruz was just able to eke through with a split decision victory over Giovanni Cabrera to win those world title eliminators. So this was a very, very close fight. I saw the unofficial scorecard for this fight, and it was pretty wide at 116 to 111 in favor of Isaac Cruz. But I had this fight 114-113 in favor of Isaac Cruz, and I was very happy with the judge's decision in this one. I think the judges scored it perfectly. Being that Cruz was the A side, a heavy favorite going into this fight, I thought they were going to have it really wide in favor of Cruz and not even give him any love and give him any decision in this one. I thought they were just going to give it all to Cruz and just have him win a wipeout, like easy, like 9-3, 8-4 decision. But they had a really, really good score in this one. One judge had it 114-113 for Giovanni Cabrera, which I could definitely see. One judge had it my score 114-113 for Cruz, and the other judge had it 115-112, which is a little bit wider in favor of Cruz. So this was a really, really close fight, like I mentioned before. Cabrera, if he fought how he did in the latter half of this fight, in the last 2 rounds, then he could have definitely won this fight pretty clearly. But, hey, I mean, the middle rounds were pretty much very good rounds for Isaac Cruz. And if you did watch this fight, comment down below how you did have it scored. But just to break down my scorecard for this fight, I thought the first 2 rounds were pretty big rounds in favor of Giovanni Cabrera. He did very well fighting on the outside. Cruz was getting a little bit frustrated. But Cabrera fought very nicely in the first 2 rounds, jabbing and fighting on the outside. Then rounds 3 and 4, I gave to Isaac Cruz because he actually started to close the distance a bit and land some solid hooks, but the rounds were pretty close if I'm going to be 100% honest. Then rounds 5 and 6 I also gave to Isaac Cruz. Cruz in those rounds actually really started to land heavy shots, and he won those rounds pretty clear. He was knocking the head around of Giovanni Cabrera, but the problem with Cabrera, he was very calm, which is pretty good. He's calm, fights on the outside, but his problems are he doesn't have much power and that he keeps his chin wide open with his hands down, and his head movement isn't that great to defend for that. So he was getting hit and rocked around with some of those shots, and the force looked like the shots obviously did much more damage than they did just because Cabrera had his hands down, which would make him look like he was getting rocked back and forth, and that he was much more hurt than he actually was. And Cruz really didn't have Cabrera hurt at all in this fight. Then round 7 and 8, around 7, I gave to Giovanni Cabrera. I thought Cruz landed one big shot, but overall Cabrera landed some nice 1-2s. Then in round number 8, it was a very interesting round because Isaac Cruz earlier headbutted Giovanni Cabrera and was a bit frustrated. But then in round number 8, Isaac Cruz was in the clinch when Cabrera clinched him up and grabbed his arms. And then Isaac Cruz started to jump up and down like a rabbit, headbutting Cabrera on the chin. And the referee was taking no BS with that and gave Cruz a stern talking and took away a point, which I think was 100% justified. Cruz was just intentionally headbutting Cabrera in that instance, so I gave it a 9-9 round because later on in that round, Cabrera started to get hit with huge shots from Cruz because he was just so angered. Then around number 9 and 10, I gave them both to Isaac Cruz. I thought Cruz was just landing the heavier shots in that round, and Cabrera was a bit tired. But then rounds 11 and 12, they were pretty big rounds for Giovanni Cabrera. I gave him both of those rounds, specifically round 12. Round 11 was close, but Cabrera, I thought, did better boxing and using the 1-2. But round 12 was an easy Cabrera round. He made Cruz look like an amateur, was landing shots, backing him up, countering him easy. It was a very, very good round in that 12th for him. So with that being said, this goes into question, what is next for Isaac Cruz? He's now 25-2-1 with 17 KOs, winning this WBC and WBA world title eliminator. So obviously he wants that Gervonta Davis rematch, and I think that's definitely an option for what's next for him. It's definitely an option for him to fight Gervonta Davis for for that WBA regular title that Davis does hold at lightweight. But there is talk that Davis could be fighting Chris Colbert, so I don't know. But I think that definitely the Davis fight is on the table. But if he doesn't fight Gervonta Davis, I could see him fighting someone who is ranked pretty highly, like maybe top 15, top 10 guy in the lightweight division. Or considering that this was for a WBC world title eliminator, we could see Isaac Cruz possibly fight for like a WBC interim title or something like that in the near future. But as for Giovanni Cabrera, losing here for the first time in his career, I mean, he fought much better than anyone else expected. I thought he was going to get stopped pretty early in the middle rounds, and many other people did too. But he fought an excellent fight, and he made it really, really close, and I think he definitely could have won this one. I thought he could have won it. Yeah, it was really, really close, and he did put up a very, very good fight, and I think he definitely belongs in that top 10 conversation, and I think in his next fight, he should face someone in the top 10 or top 15 just to get a nice solid win, because I definitely think he does have the skills to beat some of those guys, and I think he's definitely a very, very dangerous fighter to fight, not for his power, but for his skill and for his boxing IQ on the outside. So overall, Isaac Cruz is just able to beat Giovanni Cabrera by split decision to win the WBC and WBA lightweight world title eliminator. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.